first of all, I'd like to take a moment to thank the moderator, the vice president, and the elections director for securing these facilities, and the people who are here out of concern for our student government, both watching online and here in person. I'm running for Senate President. The job of the Senate President is to manage the Senate, whether that's working with individual senators on specific issues or chairing the Senate meetings. All of this basically within the accordance of Nevada open meeting law. Altogether, the job of the Senate President is kind of like keeping 25 frogs in a wheelbarrow. What I can bring to the Senate presidency is experience from the military, where working with all kinds of people is critical. And developing leadership skills comes early. In my time here in the CSUN Senate, I've worked with members from all ideological backgrounds to come together for issues that are important to all of CSUN. My opponent, on the other hand, has been in the Senate for 2 years and has yet to propose a single piece of legislation, and still can't make a proper motion. I'd like to keep CSUN moving forward, and I'd like to ask for your vote for Senate President. Thank you.
Vlad? All right, so thank you everybody once again, as well for attending. My name is Vlad. I'm one of the student body senators for the College of Sciences, and I'm actually majoring in biology and minoring in entrepreneurship. And I guess today I'm asking for your vote to represent you as your student body Senate President in the next legislation. So I guess, coming with the next week, you have a big choice to make. You're going to be voting for your next chairman of our future legislation. For the last 3 years, I have served as a student body senator in Nevada State of Higher Education. I come and bring experience of hosting the most successful scholarships committee that has existed in CSUN. I have founded and organized the first undergraduate research journal at UNLV, and bringing collaboration together for my science students for them to experience shadowing in all of the medical training programs. I have a vision for CSUN coming in the next election board. I want to create a different atmosphere, an atmosphere of teamwork, professionalism, and academic enrichment. This election cycle, you, as students, will have the chance to make it a better government, a gladder government, and a stronger government. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to propose you to continue to stay glad with Vlad.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right, let's move on to our first question. Question number 1. The Senate President needs to be able to manage people and carry out administrative decisions. What is your philosophy on effective management, and how will you implement this in the Senate? You have 2 minutes each. Alex?
Thank you. The Senate President, as being not only the chair of the Senate meetings, but they're also the administrator of the Senate in all of its affairs, whether it's individual senators or meetings or anything that deals with the Senate in general. Like I said in my opening statement, I do have a lot of experience in the military where administrative decisions are required almost every day. But we have 25 people representing 9 colleges, and it's going to be contentious. At times everybody's going to have different ideas on how to do things. But the important thing is respect, rules, and student business. That's what we need to focus on: is student business. This is all for the students. This isn't for personal agendas. This isn't for anything other than student business. What comes best for the students is best for everybody. Administratively, there are a set of rules which we use. Robert's Rules of Order is one of them. Nevada Open Meeting Law is one of them. Being able to be fluent in the language of both of these documents is key to running an effective parliamentary procedure or anything dealing with a large group. But I think basically what I said before, student business comes first. And if you could use Robert's Rules of Order and our parliamentary procedure and the rules that we've established in the Senate, that's the best thing we can do. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I guess my approach is going to come a little bit different with effective management. I understand it a little bit differently. So, coming with management as a Senate President, you're pretty much the overseer for 25 members of the Senate. And you need to be able, to manage them effectively. Other than, being able to chair the meetings, with knowing the proper motions, procedures, Nevada Open Meeting Law, Nevada revised statutes, you also need to be able to speak to your senators and be able to communicate with them. I've served, 3 years and the Summer Business Institute as an ambassador. And over there, I learned something very important, and it's people skills. You have to be able to sit down with some of the senators, that are having sometimes a hard time, whether they're going to be not doing, their marketing hours, or if they're missing a Senate meeting, or something, is happening with them, they're looking a little bit down to find out, look, what is going on? Sit them down to, prior to, making an assumption or dealing a punishment. I actually went to get to know all of my senators and work together with them effectively. In my experience as a chairman, serving as for the last a year and a half on the scholarships committee, last year I had to make some hard decisions. I had to dismiss 2 of my student senators because they weren't performing their duties. You have to be able sometimes to come to a hard notch and do make that decision. However, prior to that, you should be able to speak to them first. And I think that needs to be the main thing should be communication.
Okay, 1 minute rebuttal. Alex?
Thank you. My opponent talked about being an overseer or a manager of the Senate. Basically, I think the difference here is the Senate president is more of a coordinator. Yes, they deal with the administrative duties of the Senate, but as stated in our Constitution, the Senate can tell the Senate president how to do their jobs. So, in effect, they are not a manager of anything. They basically coordinate. That does take a lot of working with the Senate. So what we've been doing, what I've been doing personally, is working with specific senators, actually all senators is what I'm trying to do, to work on an effective bill of rules for the Senate, so everybody knows what's expected of them, the Senate president knows what's expected of that position, and everybody can work together in coordination as opposed to being managed. Thank you.
Okay, 1 minute, Vlad.
Okay, and I guess just kind of on that though, one thing, if elected as your student body Senate president, speaking of rules and everything, this book right here, this is what, kind of everybody is using. Robert's Rules of Order, this is, I believe, 11th edition that I have in front of me. And, if elected, the first thing that I'm going to do out of my personal paycheck is I'm going to purchase that for every single senator, all 25 of them, so they have it and they have it at their disposal. So they can go through their own time and review those motions and other different procedures. I, during my time, have worked with different senators as well to train them in different motions. In fact, on the Senate floor, I have been introducing the brand new ones, such as, calling something to question, or, just with the suspensions. But, in the end, you have to be able to train them as well, and I have effectively trained several brand new senators that we have, Senator Fisher and currently my Vice Chair, Senator Banging, with simple motions as amendments and, the Nevada revised statutes and Nevada open meeting law. So.
Well, we just right into our second question. What is your experience with the Nevada revised statutes, Nevada's open meeting law, and Robert's Rules of Order? And how will you use this experience to ensure our Constitution and bylaws are followed? Okay. Alex, 2 minutes.
Thank you. As you can see, we have this book here, which is a copy of Robert's Rules of Order. It is 699 pages, or 700 pages, and it is a very dry text to read. I have looked through it. I do have my own copy. I actually have the abridged copy, which is much easier to read and gives references for anybody who wishes to look for anything further. Nevada open meeting law is one of the strictest in the country. So NRS 241, it's chapter 241 of the NRS, and the main statutes that we work with are NRS 241.020 and 241.033. Those are the foundation of how we run all of our meetings. So I've already been through all of the Nevada open meeting law. I have a copy of it myself, and I actually watch quite frequently when the legislature makes updates. Going into Robert's Rules of Order, I also have a copy of my own, and I carry it with me to every Senate meeting, in addition to the abridged version, which is much easier to manage. I have been working closely with the current administration and the current Senate president to make sure that a lot of the proposals that I've made are within the confines of Nevada open meeting law and Robert's Rules of Order. And I also have been sitting down with specific senators and sharing my experience with them and giving them my experience and tips and pointers and showing them how to read the documents to make sure that they understand what they can and can't do in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order and Nevada open meeting law. And as Senate President, I think it is a good idea to make sure that the Senate President has time with every senator, so every senator knows what's expected of them. That can also, that can mean anything from working over Robert's Rules of Order, just having just questions to question and answer of the Senate in general, but specifically going over making sure that every senator knows Robert's Rules of Order, at least the foundation, and the Nevada open meeting
Okay, so I guess kind of, for the students, I can't see you guys well too well because of the lighting, but for those of you that are not in CSUN, what actually NRS, Nevada Revised Statutes, and Nevada Open Meeting Law they pretty much help you dictate the meeting and kind of, the way that it has to be followed. In fact, one of the articles, suggests, Chapter 241, Section 20, suggests that we have to place on the agendas the time and place that it has to come about, and that it has to be 3 business days prior to the respective meeting. The Robert's Rules of Order specifically, they allow you to operate smoothly. Simple as that. They're your guide on, having a smooth meeting, and, the senators that have a better knowledge with them typically have a better handling and work within the Senate. However, with those procedures together, once again, one of these books should be provided to all of them, so they're given the basic background, not just the basic emotions. And also for me, I guess, I actually want to go into medicine. And again, through Summer Business Institute, when I was working over there at the UMC, University Medical Center, I was blessed to shadow Dr. Dale Carrison. He is the Chief of Staff of UMC. And with him, I was able to attend to, he chaired many of the UMC meetings, which are called the Chief Board meetings. And over there, the top neurosurgeons, top cardiologists, everybody came together, and they were witnessing the procedure, on what came to the floor. And so, for me, I have already, for the last pretty much 4 or 5 years, have been involved in this experience of seeing how meeting is chaired, and that is why, I want to continue to do that, and I want to make sure that our government is an effective one. So, thank you.
Alex?
Well, I think what Mr. Jitney has said is a pretty good thing. However, I want to point out some things here. He said that NRS 241 Nevada Open Meeting Law is a suggestion. It's not. We're required by law to follow these. And CSUN has had a history of lawsuits because of people that haven't followed these. Basically, not following Nevada law or Nevada Open Meeting Law results in a lawsuit, as we've seen with my opponent's former mentor, Senate President Jay Yoon. I'm just worried that if given the chance to follow in these footsteps, history will repeat itself. Thank you.
Okay, question number 3, and our final question for the Senate President candidates. Do you see any issues with the way the Senate body functions? And what do you think needs to be changed? We'll start with Vlad this time.
Thank you. So, serving as a senior senator in this student body, and, serving pretty much for 3 years as a student body senator, I have witnessed numerous experiences, and I have many things that I would change in our student government. Number 1, our student body senators, first of all, they're students, and then they're senators. They have to be able to, attend their classes and be successful in them. And, we're witnessing right now that some of them are missing, student body meetings and perchance not doing what they're supposed to be, when that is their directive task. The first thing that I would do, approved by the Senate, of course, or start that with the next legislature, would move the meetings from Monday evenings onto the Thursdays. What this would do is it would allow also all of the committees to submit their agenda proposals over the weekend, and the agenda would be posted on Mondays. So instead of trying to put an agenda together, they would be able to study for their classes and go to the meetings, such as the Greek meetings that come on the weekend. The next thing is we have to be able to provide our community with what we do with multiple outreach, and that comes actually with our minutes. According to our Title 6, Chapter 601, Open Meeting, Section 10, Subsection F, we're stated that the student government is required to post our meeting minutes on our website. And unfortunately, we haven't been doing that. So I guess if any of you guys wanted to sue us right now for money, you could, and you'd probably get some, so I would do that right after. But, specifically with that, as soon as our administration would take over, we would instantly put all of the minutes up. And it won't be just the agendas. We have only one agenda posted over there at this time, the 4302 meeting. We would have actual minutes, so you can see how your senators vote. Thank you.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry, we'll go back to Alex.
Could you repeat the question for me, please? Thank you.
Lost track here.
Could you repeat the question for me, please?
Okay. Do you see any issues with the way the Senate body functions? And what do you think needs to be changed?
Oh, absolutely. There's plenty of things that I'd like to see changed in the Senate, but I'd also like to focus on the fact that there's plenty of things in the Senate that we're doing right. We are actually having our meetings. it seems that right now we've been having a lot of personal issues, which is one of the first things that I'd like to address. We are having a lot of contention in there, and it's due to differences in ideology. Like I said before, we have 25 people in the Senate representing 9 different colleges who are obviously going to have 25 people with 25 different opinions. I think that needs to be addressed first. The respect and the rules of our Senate need to be followed more than anything. As far as changing around the fundamental way the Senate works, I don't think that that's going to change anything. Whether it's on a Monday night or a Thursday night, it doesn't really matter. There are just as many organizations that meet on Thursday as there are on Monday. So there's always going to be conflicts that should a student become a senator or should a student want to join an organization is going to have to balance. That's part of being a senator. That's part of being a part of any organization. But basically, I want to focus on the fact of the rules, respect, and student business. So student business is affected when there's disrespect and people aren't following the rules. It's true that a lot of our senators are not, or have not in the past, been doing some of the things they're supposed to do, like speaking in classes as required by our bylaws, or holding our marketing tables, which is how we send out a lot of our information. But I think it's interesting to note that my opponent here spoke about having the minutes posted online as required by law. It actually does say in NRS 241.020 that if you have technicalities with technical issues with your website, that is not going to prevent somebody from requesting it in person, which is easily attainable. You can easily submit a request to see all of our minutes. As with everything else, right now the reason why we haven't been putting things up on the website is we don't have a moderator, which is one of the other things that we need to work with. And as Senate President and a member of the Executive Board, one of the things that I would like to do is make sure that we have an effective Executive Board and an effective Executive branch to make sure that all of these positions are filled. Thank you.
Okay, final rebuttal from Vlad.
Well, I guess there's a couple of things. One of the things, the reason why we don't have some of our meetings posted is because we're not filling some of the positions. And one of them right now is that we're actually trying to eliminate some of them, like Chief of Staff, where we could be utilizing that position to be putting up those minutes and having those come together and assisting the Senate President, since Chief of Staff assists the office, to help directly to, moderate that. We also have a graduate assistant to Business Manager Savannah Volterra who keeps all the minutes. Free time to him. I think it would be wise for the Senate to delegate that to him, to have that present. And there's also one more thing. I guess my opponent, Alex Murdoch, he mentioned that we, don't come around with proposals of bylaws. Tell you what, you guys, let's try to draft one real quick right now. So we have, I'm a scholarships chairman, so we have a scholarships bylaw that's on Title 8 of Chapter 813, brand new scholarship, because we have 12 of them. So let's name one for, President Ciavola, one for pugs. So, we're going to come with eligibility. If you save a pug, we're going to give you a scholarship. Section 2, what you have to do pretty much for that to receive it. You have to remember, again, the 2.5 GPA.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. You brought up some very interesting ideas. This concludes, except for our closing statements. We'd like to get closing statements from Vlad first, 2 minutes, and then followed by Alex.
Okay, so Section 1, if you save a pug, you're able to propose a scholarship. That's going to be, eligibility. You have to maintain a 2.5 GPA. You have to have a handsome beard, and you have to be pretty much, coming into the rescue mission. And Section 3, you have to, the amount of the award. So we're going to be having $1,000 award. We're going to propose it for, fall and the spring, just the way that we have it right now. And then the following section is Section 4, which is you have to maintain that trimmed, handsome beard, and you have to keep saving those pugs. So right now, you guys, we just drafted together a bylaw. And all of you guys, I think, now can run for student body Senate President. So what do you guys think about that? And, on that note, I just want to make sure, you guys, that it's a very serious decision that you guys are going to be making. If you want to be the change of the student government, if we want to propel it forward, just like with the DNA sequences, we have to evolve. We have to be placing the DNA polymerases to motion it forward. My ticket will ensure that our student government remains a strong student government, that it will be a better student government, and once again, it's going to be a gladder student government. You guys, I hope that at the end of the next weeks, the results will be in your favor.
statement, I'd like to say a few things on that. First of all, like I said in my opening statement, I do have a lot of experience in managing people with all different kinds. In the military, I've had several different experiences making executive decisions, sometimes decisions that aren't popular. However, I want to touch on a few things, though. The Chief of Staff is specific to the Senate President, or not the Senate President, but the student body president. It has nothing to do with the Senate President. As far as proposing legislation, the Senate President does not propose legislation. I would not propose legislation, although I would work with senators to make sure that they do propose legislation. The simple fact of the matter is the Senate President is in charge of making sure the Senate runs smoothly, whether it's using the Nevada Open Meeting Law or whether it's using the Robert's Rules of Order. That's the job of the Senate President. That's what I want to focus on. My experience both in the military and working with the Senate, the current Senate, has given me a lot of experience in managing my time, managing the affairs of other people and helping other people whenever they need it. So what I want to do is keep doing that. Our ticket obviously has the most experience of any collective ticket here, and I want to keep what we're doing basically, and that's keeping CSUN moving forward. If you look at the history of CSUN through the previous administration, which includes one of my ticket mates, it'll show that CSUN is now in a better place than it was 2 or 3 years ago, and that's what we want to keep doing, is keeping CSUN moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex Murdoch and Vlad Zidney. Let's bring up our vice president candidates, Kanami Espinoza and James Phelps.